Today we're going to be talking about Gladiator 2. This is the second movie to the Gladiator that came out in the year 2000. 24 years later, Ridley Scott had a bright idea to make a second movie. If you're a fan of the first movie, don't get your hopes up in any way. This does not surpass the first movie. Gladiator 2 is fun. And I'm not discrediting anyone that worked on this new project. In this movie, we follow Lucius on his journey from being a free man to a slave and eventually a gladiator under Macrinus's guide, portrayed by Denzel Washington. I just felt they could have did this story without bringing anyone from the first one into this new movie, since it was something that we haven't seen before. This world is so big that I feel like you don't even necessarily have to grab pieces from the first movie to make this a cohesive story. It wasn't its own thing. But the acting from the star-studded cast actually saves the day on this one. And I'm not saying that lightly at all. Joseph Quinn as evil Emperor Gaeta just fits the mood perfectly. I mean, he really nailed his role. It's almost magnetizing every time that he's on screen. Denzel's portrayal of Macrinus is magnetizing. I mean, every time that he's on screen, the crowd was laughing or just sitting in awe that we're actually watching a great actor just steal every scene. The only actor that I wish received more love and got more camera time was Pedro Pascal. I felt like he had a lot more to offer to this script and to the narrative of this movie. Definitely underutilized, but it was a pleasure seeing him on the screen anytime that he was on the screen. As ambitious as this movie is, it still can't recreate that feeling that the first one gives you. I mean, this one kind of feels soulless at some points throughout the movie. I was kind of antsing in my seat until some action happened. Truthfully, I'd even say that the action sequences are better in this one than the first one, but the story just feels shallow at times. And I think that this trade-off works to a degree. But I seen on Twitter history buffs apparently saying that how could there be sharks in a Coliseum and where did the monkeys come into play? Dude, it's a fucking movie. What are we talking about? And I saw those opinions before I saw the movie, so I was a little worried. But the scenes happen so fast that it's almost like forgettable. It's not really that big of a deal. Paul Mescal and his performance as Lucius really cemented him in having the chops to pull this off and be a lead, man. You can just tell that he likes to do his own stunts, be fast on camera, be very aggressive. He really sold the performance. This movie by no means tops the first movie, and that movie came out about 25 years ago. But it works as a new epic to watch. I definitely would recommend going to watch this movie. You don't have to see the first one to know what's going on with this one, so you will not be lost. But if you've seen the first one before, it's not better by no means. This one gets a 3.5 out of 5 for me, and I could see it walking away with a few Oscar nominations in set design and costume design. If you're an avid Gladiator fan, this movie might piss you off, but then you could also like it, because Gladiator really isn't my favorite movie either. So, I don't know. If you like the first one, you could or couldn't like the second one. Thanks for tuning in. I'll have another video coming out next week. I appreciate you for returning. If you're returning, if you're new, love ya. Check you out next week.